003 payment term means if customer pays within 14 days, there will be 3% cash discount. If customer pays within 20 days, there is 2% cash discount. But if customer is paying after 20 days, then there is no cash discount. Clear? So from where it comes? From payment term it is decided. Obviously, it's related to payment. And where we are mentioning all the agreement between the customer and the company in the terms of payment only, right? How the payment has to come. So this is your cash discount. Now, there are prerequisite uh, to work this cash discount actually, whether the cash discount will be applicable for any transaction or not, that depends on few prerequisites, right? Like if I say, what is my prerequisite to create a sales order? What you will say? What are my prerequisite to create a sales order?
Quotation. Inquiry quotation.
No, no, no. That is another thing. Okay, let's say inquiry quotation is there. Then let's say there is inquiry quotation, there is no inquiry quotation. Then will you be able to
Customer.
create sales order?
No.
No.
What else you need then?
Um,
Prerequisite to create a sales order. Just think logically. What you will do when you create a sales order? What you need basically?
custom. Customer.
Exactly. And customer has to be there, right? Then only you are going to sell something, right? Then only the sales order will make some sense. Similarly, the material, right? The one was saying material. Material also is prerequisite, right? Without material, what you are
Yes,
going to sell,
yes, both customer and material
right?
both were required.
There are multiple prerequisites, but these are also one of prerequisites. Like if your customer material also there, then also you need to have one document type, right? Which document type you are going to create. Then you need to have some sales area. So these all things we call it in SAP prerequisite. Means to perform or to create my sales order, these all things has to be there in place. So similarly, for cash discount to work, there are prerequisite which has to be there. The first thing actually it will come from payment terms of payment. That is one thing. Then there are two more things. In the material master, there is a field called cash discount. Let us go to any material master. You see, when I have not given the sales area, let me go back again. Right, I entered this. I selected whichever views are important for me, and then I pressed OK. Now you see it's asking me plant, sales area, all these things. Let's say I've not entered anything. I simply pressed OK. Now basic data is not what you call depending on your sales area, right? It's the basic data. But your sales area data depends on your sales. I mean, basically the sales data will depend on your sales area. You see there are very less fields appearing here. Why? Because you have not selected the sales area yet. So how you can select? You can select from here also. Either at the first screen itself you can enter the sales area, or you can enter here also. Let's say if I enter here, then I need to give the plant. Let us give some plant. That's PPT. Then you can select the sales area like this. And now you notice the field will be changing. And now you say very few fields, like 5 fields only. Now let's say when I give it the sales area, when I press enter, now you see it gives me all the fields which are relevant for this particular sales area, that is ZORG plus ZC. Now you see there is a checkbox cash discount. So this is one of the prerequisite, whether the cash discount will be applicable or not. So it's not only the terms of payment. If your terms of payment says for cash discount 20 days, 2%, all those things. But if your material master, this checkbox is not checked in, that invoice or that transaction will be not relevant for your cash discount. Clear? There is a similar field in customer master also. And there is a similar field available in sales org. So there are three prerequisites for cash discount to work apart from your terms of payment. Let me show you how I don't know how many of you remember, but let me quickly show you in sales org. Enterprise structure, definition, sales and distribution, this org. Go to any sales org. You see this checkbox. So one checkbox you have at the sales org level, one checkbox you have at the material master level, and third checkbox you have in customer master. Let us open the customer master as well. If someone asks you what are the prerequisites for cash discount, you need to say all these three. Obviously, it will be there your sales area data only. You go to sales area, you select the sales area in it. Let's get our sales area only. Where is that cash discount checkbox? This is the rebate. Uh, Here I don't know, maybe it is having some different name or different terminology. I'll tell you later, that's fine. So there are three prerequisites, one in customer master, one in material master, and one at a sales org level. Okay, so this is the function of this field actually. See, its field is the prerequisite to determine with your cash condition type. When you say cash discount actually, the 2%, 5%, whatever, that will be calculated in some condition type, right? So whether that cash condition type, cash discount condition type to appear in your sales document or not, so this field works as a prerequisite. Let's say you have maintained in customer master. Let's say you have maintained in the sales org level. That checkbox you have checked in. You have taken the correct payment term. But in the material master, if the cash discount is not checked in, that transaction will not be relevant for your cash discount. Yes. Now another field is tax classification. Tax classification is simply classification of tax. Whether if you see globally or on a broader level, there are two tax classifications, right? Either a customer will be tax classified when is eligible for tax, or it could be exempted from tax, right? Let's say, as I told you earlier, also government entity or government company. For those government company, when you are doing any sale from your company, that time taxes will not come because eventually when you pay tax, let's say I am a indie customer, I am running a company, I buy from something from Tata Steel, let's say, I need to pay some tax. Ultimately, the tax money will go to whom? To government only, correct? That's what tax is. I pay to government, correct? But when government itself is buying something for some infrastructure or for any purpose, who they will pay? Is it something they will pay to themselves? So for that reason, there is no tax in sales process wherever the government entity is involved generally. So how you decide it and how you maintain in your customer master and material master with this tax classification field. If you go to material master, you go to billing, scroll down, here you can see. There are multiple ways actually. Since I'm just giving you a very basic classification. You see, zero means tax exempt means that for this customer there will be no tax eligible, and one for which it has to pay the tax. Similar function we have in material master also. You see, one means exempt, one means full tax, zero means exempted. Clear? Generally, we don't go with this material wise because obviously the tax is primarily depending on the customer, right? Whether the customer is eligible for tax or not. But for some cases, you need to go at a material level also. Because for some particular case in India also, there are few materials that need to follow some certain tax rate and some material will follow some different tax rate. So in some specific scenario, you use this rate. So SAP has given that option in the material master as well. But on a broader level, zero means exempt, one means taxable. Clear? As I said, you low tax, reduced tax, so many options we have. As per the requirement, we create it and we maintain it. But on a broader level, just to understand, zero means exempted, one means full tax. Clear? Now, minimum order quantity is all very simple and theoretical thing. When you create a sales order system, will check whether the sales quantity meets or exceeds this minimum order quantity or not. Let's say you are selling rice, right? And if customer creates order of 5 gram, that 5 gram sales order doesn't make any sense, right? I cannot deliver that 5 gram, correct? So you need to maintain some minimum order quantity. Because beyond, below that, you will not deliver because it will cost you some, let's say, transportation cost will be there, and you don't want to waste your time and energy for that small order, right? Or for any reason. So for that purpose, you use this minimum order quantity. Okay, now minimum delivery quantity. Same, but it's a working on for delivery document. Minimum order quantity, it will work for sales order level. Minimum delivery quantity, it will work for delivery quality, even delivery document quantity. Where you have this field, let us go to Material Master. Here is yeah, here you have those fields. Order quantity and minimum delivery quantity. These all are theoretical. If you read it once, you will remember it. Okay, there is no need to memorize. It's all simple terminology actually. Give me 1 second. Any questions so far? Now we have the sales of data 2. Okay. Again, sales of data 2 will also be owned by FD people or salesperson, sales team only. So all this you can ignore, you can just read it. These all are theoretical fields. No need to explain. This is something important. Account assignment group that you see in the sales of 2, uh, this field. Okay. Now let's say you are running a shop, okay, and your father runs a shop, and one day your father told you, now you run a shop for 1 month. I am going outside, and you need to note down everything in some diary, whatever sale you are making. And let's say he told you, whenever you are selling rice, you note down in this small red diary. Whenever you are selling atta or some other goods, you maintain in that yellow diary, right? So theoretically, you understood. Okay, whenever I sell rice, I'll write it in that red diary. Whenever I sell some other good, let's say atta or dal, whatever, I'll maintain in that yellow diary. So after 1 month, when your dad comes, he will ask you, show me the red diary. You simply open the red diary, and you can see how much sale has happened for that rice only, right? Now for other sale, he will open that yellow diary. So GLs, as I said, in real world we call it diary or notebook. In SAP we call it GL, general ledger. So similarly in SAP also, the business or the owner or the higher management wants some reports based on the material uh, base also. Let's say they are running into a pipe business, they are also selling cement, they are also selling ferroalloy. Now management simply asks the sales team or the finance team, give me the data for sales of ferroalloy during from the month of January to April. If they are not using a different GL, how can they note it? Let's say in your case, if you instead of maintaining two different diary, if you simply maintained everything in one diary, and when your father asks you how much sale we have done for rice, you cannot tell because the same diary you have written everything. So similarly in SAP, based on material also you can have your separate GL. As I told you, for DI pipe, you can have some account assignment group 1. For cement, you can have account assignment group of metal as 2. So whenever that invoice will happen, these two entry, you have the provision to maintain in different GL. So that reporting will be easier. If the management or the owner of the company asks, give me the report only for cement sale. I want only cement sales for month of March or any duration. You can report it because you have maintained a different GL, you have entered all those entries into different GL. It's very easy to get that report. But if it is same GL you are entering everything, then it's slightly different. It's slightly difficult to get that report. Okay. So this is one of the parameter to determine the GL, the revenue GL. Let me show you. We will discuss all this later also, but since we are discussing this one, I just quickly want to show you. You see, there are eight fields, right? Seven fields. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven fields are there. And this is that field we are talking about. Account assignment group of material. And these all are GL, you see. Here we have maintained same GL. So as per the requirement, you can have different GL also. Here. So based on this GL will be determined. One of the parameters for determining the revenue GL. Here. Any question?
No, Deepak.
Great. Now let's talk about the high type category group. We have already discussed, right? That it will help you. One of the parameters to determine the high type category in sales document. I told you yesterday also. This is that field. Let's go into that. Yeah, there is one more field, pricing reference material. This is also not that important, but it's easy to understand actually. So let's discuss this one. Uh, let's say you have open our file. Let's say you have one material as ABC, okay, and then you have a different material here, and you have one more material XYZ. And now let's say XYZ is being sold at 10 rupees. Okay. Now you want all these three material to follow the pricing of XYZ. There could be 100 materials, let's say there are 100 materials. And you, for some reason, for as per the business requirement, you want all this material to follow the pricing of XYZ. If I maintain XYZ 10 rupees, the 10 rupees will be applicable for all these three. If I maintain it 20, automatically 20 will be applicable for all these three materials. So basically, these materials are doing what? These materials are taking reference of XYZ material for pricing. How it will happen in SAP? You need to maintain a pricing reference material actually. Pricing reference material. In ABC, DEF and FGH, you will maintain the same XYZ. So now what will happen? As soon as you change this value, let's say you make it 40, system will automatically understood all these materials are going to be sold at 40 rupees only. So this is that field actually in the Material Master. This field. Clear? Now, what next we have product hierarchy, I think we already covered. And let's go to sales general. What else we have important? Okay. This base unit we already covered. That is coming from your basic data. Net weight gross weight also we have seen. That was also coming in the basic data, and it is appearing in the sales data because anyway when you sell it, the sales is also relevant for your. When sales is also impacting based on your unit of measure and gross weight, not net weight also, right? So it is appearing appearing here. If you change in the basic data, automatically this also will get changed. Now this is important actually. Why? Because see when you create a order, okay. Let's say today you are creating order and you need to check the stock also for that material. When you create order, it's not like say you simply create the order and you will deliver. Before delivery, system has to check whether that stock is available or not. And if it is not available, what will happen? What is supposed to be happen? Generally, in real world, you will inform your production team. Let's say today one customer came and he asking, the customer is asking 100 number of pieces on let's say on 10th of May, 100 pieces. And when you check the stock, you found it's not there. So what you will do? You will create the sales order. System will not confirm the quantity because there is no stock. But what will happen in the back end? System will send the information that this material 100 pieces is required on the date of 10th of May. So now the production team will see that requirement from the sales that okay 100 pieces are required for that particular customer on 10th of May. They will produce it and they will keep the stock ready. So how this information follows actually from sales order to your production team? It follows with this availability check. And also it is there are multiple things actually. Availability check itself is a very big topic. Okay, but a few things you need to understand. You don't need to go to that level. As a fresher, you if you understand slight overall also, it is fine for you people. You don't need to go to that level of complicated deep dive. You don't have to do. So now if you see the options here, let's say uh, if you see 0 1 means daily requirement, 0 2 individual requirement. Let's say uh, today one customer came, right? Let's say in our example, today the customer came asking 100 pieces on 10th of May. Fine. Today itself, let's say another customer comes and he is asking some 200 pieces on 15th of, or not 15th, let's say on 10th of May itself, he is asking, what do you call, this 100 pieces again. Now, there are two ways to inform the production team. Either you can inform separately, or you can do one thing, you can just combine all the requirement, whatever came today, and then you sum the cumulative requirement to the production team. So, this is what it does actually. 0 1 means daily. So today whatever requirement came for that material, you will send combining all those requirements. In individual, it will be sent each time when you place order. Let's say today I placed 10 orders. So now 10 times that requirement will be sent from your sales department to the production planning team. Clear? And also, like here if you see, in this case, there are three sales order. It's a daily requirement. What system has done? System, let's say this is sales order actually. Okay, 1005, 1006, 107. And the quantity they have asked for 30, 25, and 20. So summation becomes your 75. So you see, the, the requirement has updated as a cumulative. Clear? But here if you see individual, 30, let's say the stock was, this is the stock is 100. The first order comes 1005 for 30. It updates out as an individual. So 100 minus 30 now becomes your 70. Now you have 70. You see 30 is updated separately. This 25 is updated separately. This 20 is updated as a separate requirement. So this is individual requirement you are sending to the production planning team. And here you are sending the cumulative. You sum up all this requirement and then you send to the production planning team. Yes. We'll discuss all this in detail once if we have time. We will try to see the availability check also slightly, how it works and all. Then you will understand. And now this is your batch management. So simply when you must have seen when you buy something in real world also, few materials comes in batches, right? Let's say the breads and all the, especially those materials which are what you call perishable material, right? That is going to waste in some time. That has a very short lifespan, right? Or they will expire. So for those kind of material, the management is required. And also for to maintain the quality also, sometimes even though the metals are not editable, I mean not edible, we maintain the batch so that we maintain the quality. So that if anything goes wrong, we understand okay, this batch has gone wrong, this material is having problems. So you can have a control. You can call all those material from that particular batch, and then you can do the correction. So now whether your material has to be managed in batch or not, you maintain in Material Master only. Clear? This is the field batch management. If you check the checkbox, then only your material is relevant. For this, in our material, this is PG1296F. This is not a batch managed. So this why the checkbox is not there. Yeah. But if the material has to, let's say, the medicine department, medicine business, and all these things, this batch is required. So in those materials, you will see this batch management as a checked in. And where you will see the batches, once you maintain the batch, Batches you can see at two places actually, at the order also, at the delivery also. I'll show you a delivery so that you will have some idea. You see, in the delivery, when you're going to pick it, that time you have that option to enter the batch. Since, as I told you, in our material, it's not batch managed, so without batch also it will work. But if it's a batch managed material, then system will ask you from which batch you're going to pick, which batch you're going to do the PGI, which batch is being, which batch, I mean, the material from which batch has to be sold. That time system will ask the batch number. But since in our case it's not batch managed, system is not asking. Okay. Now transportation group. Okay. Let's say uh, this field is one of the parameters to determine the route. Route means the road basically. Let's say the goods has to be delivered from Pune to Chennai. There could be multiple route, right? When you travel via road also with your friends, with your family, or with anyone, with your own vehicle, you have multiple. If you're going with the train, then you're going to follow the train route only. But when you go by road with your own vehicle, you see in the Google Map, right? Okay, which route is better, which route is the smallest, which route the tolls are less, and all everything you see, right? So similarly in SAP also, when the goods has to be delivered from point A to point B, system determines some route, which route it has to take. So this transportation group is one of the parameter to determine that route, which route system has to. Let's say, I'll tell you a very basic layman example. There are two routes to reach from Pune to Chennai, right? One is very small, what do you call it, the narrow path, and one is a broader path actually. It's a highway, what do you call it's a broader road actually, simply, okay? And you are going to sell something, a bigger machinery you are going to sell. So obviously you will try to take the path which has a broader road, right? You will not take the narrow path because you may stuck with some issues may come when you try to deliver with that road. I'm just giving a layman example, okay? There are multiple factors comes into picture when system determines the route and all, but just I'm giving a layman example. So you need to determine the route based on the material also. So that time this field will become important. Clear? Similarly, loading group. Loading means something when you are going to load it. Obviously, from where you will load it, where that loading will happen in a plant. When the truck comes to the company, from which point it will load? Shipping
Shipping.
point. So the loading point, I mean the loading group is one of the parameters to determine the shipping point. Similar example, I just told you, let's say old example only. Let's say it's a big heavy machine. So definitely you need a bigger crane to load that material, right? And if it's a small machine, you can load it from anywhere. By hand also you can load it. But if it's a bigger machine, it's like 100,000 ton or it's a very heavy machine, then you need some JCB or some machines or overhead cranes also. So obviously, let's say in your plant you have two shipping point. One is having crane facility, another is not. The shipping point don't have the crane facility. So obviously, you maintain the loading group and you maintain the system, or you all these settings you maintain accordingly. So whenever this material is being created, automatically the loading group has to be taken, which has the overhead crane facility. Clear? And the T code is OVL2. Let us quickly go and let me quickly show you. OVL2. So you see how many parameters are there? First, prerequisites or the what do you call the requirement of the what do you call the criteria to determine the shipping point.
Three.
Three. First is shipping condition, then the loading group, third the plant. Yeah. So loading group is one of the parameter here. Well, you can read that's fine. Uh, yeah, this is something important. I don't know. Okay, but let me explain you this one because this is also theoretical and you can remember it. In third party, what we do in third party sales? What is the process flow in third party?
Third party sales means if we don't have, like, if we get the order, if we receive the sales order, means if we are not having the stock,
Mm-hmm.
so we will ask our vendor to deliver that goods to the customer, and we will receive the invoice. We will receive the payment from customer and we will give payment to the vendor. Like we will be the third party between both of them.
Okay. So now, how in
Something like that.
SAP the system, how in SAP how the transaction will start? In SAP, how your transaction will start? Think logically,
We will receive the order from the customer.
customer. So in SAP, what you will do? You
Um,
receive a order file. Let's say I'm the customer. I called you. You know I want this piece, 100 pieces. I told you over phone, or let's
mhm.
say I informed you over mail. You received the order. Now what next you will do?
We will check check the stock.
But how you will check? Okay, let's say you check the stock. The stock is not there. Then what next? In SAP, what transaction you will do?
We will create sales order.
Exactly. You will create the sales order first, right?
Right.
Eventually, you will not check the stock manually. You will create the sales order itself, and system automatically understand. Okay, the stock is not there. It has to go to the third party route. Or let's say in the first place itself, you know that okay, this material I'm going to get it from vendor. I'm going to follow the third party route for this material. So first
Mm.
transaction in SAP will be creating the sales order. Create.
Creating a sales order.
When you
Yes.
save the sales order in third party, automatically in the back end, system will create a PR. Like in sales process, we have inquiry, quotation, contract, and then we create sales order. Similarly, in purchasing route, first a purchase, what do you call, purchase requisition. It's a request for purchase that is stated first, purchase requisition. Again, it's similar to our sales. In our case also, inquiry, quotation, contract are not mandatory. You can have it or you cannot have it. That's fine. Directly you can start with the sales order also. That's fine. So similarly, in purchasing route also, either you can create the PR first and then you create the PO, or without PR also you can create the PO. But in third party, you have to create the PR first, purchase requisition, and then that PR has to be converted into PO. Clear? So when the PR is created, I let's say I went to VA01, I ordered for third party sales, I created the sales order. As soon as I save my sales order, in the back end, system will create a PR, purchase requisition number. Now there are two ways actually. Either someone will check the PR and then he will manually convert that PR into PO manually. And there is another way, automatically you want the PR to be converted into PO. You don't want manual intervention. Then in that case, you need to put this checkbox automatic PO. Okay. Theoretically, if someone asks you third party process, maybe this question they will ask you. When I create my sales order in third party, a PR is generated. You will say yes, the PR is generated. Then he will say, I want my PR to be converted to PO automatically. From where I can do it. Then you need to tell, we need to check this automatic PO checkbox in the Material Master. Clear? Just remember this theoretically, how it happens in SAP, don't worry all those things. There are a lot of other configurations also required for third party. But theoretically, you understood the function of this automatic PO checkbox, what this checkbox will do if you put it. Clear? And obviously not only third party or IPO also, because this third party IPO both are similar process. So IPO also will come into this one. If you put this checkbox, IPO process will also be impacted. Uh, yeah, now this is important actually, MRP type. Okay, uh, this is also important only. Let us go to MRP one actually. This is okay. Let's go one by one basically. See, when you create a sales order, okay, let's say before we discuss the MRP group, let me explain the requirement type. Let us go to our sales order. Let's see what it has taken. You see, requirement type is here. I'll just give you a basic idea what this requirement type is all about. Uh, let's say. there are two processes in SAP actually. One is MTS, okay, make to stock. The other is make to order. There are multiple sales process. As I said, third party is also sales process. IPO is also sales process. MTS, MPO, right? MTO, cash sale, rush sale, consignment sale, right? Subcontracting process. These all are sales process. Intercompany sales. So this is also two cases, MTS and MTO. As the name suggests, MTS means make to stock. There could be some material in your company which you are producing regularly. You don't have the customer as of now in your hand, but you know it will be sold anyway. So you just create it and you keep it in your plant as a buffer because you don't want your customer to hamper or your supply chain management to hamper. So you keep the stock ready beforehand before the customer comes basically, right? In some cases, let's say the DI pipe example, let's take the DI pipe example. For some customer, if the customer is saying, I want a pipe which has to be, color has to be yellow, inner coating you make it cement and you make it double coated, okay, and outside you do the zinc coating with some extra carbon and all, some specific requirement the customer is having. Then in that case, obviously this is something special the customer is asking and you will not have that stock handy with you, correct? So in this case, what you will do, you will take the order and you will pass the requirement to the production team. Boss, this is how the customer wants. Automatically, SAP will flow that requirement when you save the sales order. Then production team will produce the similar material for that first customer. They will produce accordingly whatever they have asked for, and then they will place that batch of material in the stock. They will upload the stock. Now, when the stock is available, then only you can deliver it because it's MTO. It's make to order. The production team has produced that material only when they know that there is a requirement is for that particular material, then only they produce it. So that process we call it MTO. Okay. So in SAP, how it is divided in SAP in sales order, you see from here it is divided. If you see MTO, KEK. KEK means it's a MTO. There will be one more KSL. Let us scroll down. I think it's KSL, but let's see. Yeah, you see, sales from a stock without individual requirement means MTS, sales from stock is happening. So that we call it requirement type. In simple word also you see, when the customer comes to you, means it's a requirement to you, the customer has requested something. Now what kind of requirement is it? It's a normal requirement, MTS requirement, or is it something specific requirement? Clear? So that is requirement type. Now let's go back to our field, what was there. So MRP group. So this is the field or one of the parameters to determine the requirement type. If you don't understand, that's fine. You just remember where this field will impact. So this field will impact to determine the requirement type. And where you will see the requirement type in sales order, you open the sales order in the overview screen itself. If you go to the procurement tab, you will see the requirement type. If someone asks you what is the requirement type, you can give this two example also, that's fine. MTS and MTO. There are multiple ways, multiple requirement type. But if you give these two also, MTS and MTO, this is enough. For you people, this is enough. If you tell this much also, the interviewer will be happy. Okay, you at least you know what is the requirement type and all, and how it is getting determined. So this is one of the parameters. Now MRP type. Now let's say there are few material, as I told you for when you are doing some cash sale, right? When you go to some Reliance store or some Reliance Fresh, that kind of store, that time you already have the stock. You see the stock and then you pick up and then you pay it, right? Because the stock is lying in front of you only. You don't have to worry about the stock or not. And even the what you call the person who is running the shop, you also don't need to bother whether stock is available or not because you see it, then you pick it, and then you bill it. So those kind of material is not relevant for my availability check, right? So how you decide based on material which is relevant for planning or not, relevant for availability or not? So how this is the field which you control. See, first is relevant for plan. Let's say as I told you, let's say the customer comes, if the you don't have the stock, that time you will pass the requirement to the production team. You will maintain PD. That means production team has to produce it. You want to pass this information to the what do you call production planning team. If you maintain ND, means no planning. You don't want to pass this information whether stock is available or not. All this information you don't want. Then you maintain ND. Okay. And this is also one of the parameters to determine the requirement type. So MRP group is also helping you to determine requirement type. MRP type is also one of the parameters to determine the requirement type. Yeah, this is something related to availability. Once we discuss availability, you will understand all this in detail. But as of now, just have this overview what these fields are all about. And MRP control you can ignore. That's not that much important for us. Also, yeah, one more feature. I mean, one more important thing this MRP type does actually. This will help you to determine the schedule and category. Now you see these two things: requirement type and schedule line. These two things you will see in sales order, and these two things are determined by this MRP type. Obviously, one of the parameters it's not only the parameter. There are multiple parameters. And let me show you this case. Uh, where you will see the schedule line. So you open your sales order, you double click on the line item, you go to your schedule lines tab, and then you see your schedule line category. And now what I told you, this MRP group, the MRP type is one of the field to determine the schedule line category. How it will help you? Let's see. So you see the CP, but how it will come? So T code is VOV5 I think. Yeah. Now this is your item category. What is my item category in the sales order for this line item? Item category for this line item. It's there in the screen only. You see, you can find it. TAN. Right.
TN.
So it's TAN. So let's put that TAN here. You see, it's MRP type actually. It's MRP type. So as I told you, this is one of the parameters. There are two parameters that will determine the schedule line. The MRP type is one of them. But let's follow our process so that we'll understand how in our sales order that CP has came or whatever that value was there. So your item category is TAN. Let me put the TAN. So it's TAN. Fine. Now MRP type. Obviously material type, MRP type will come from your Material Master, that is ND, right? We have mentioned ND. So let's type ND. ND. You press OK. You see what is the schedule line it is saying as per the determination logic? TAN and ND. What is the schedule line? CP. So that's what CP came in your sales order
CP.
also. You see CP. Clear? And where you see the requirement type, you will see in the in the procurement tab. Okay. These all things are relevant for see whatever fields basically you see in this MRP view. Okay, just think this all views as a production planning view. So whatever data you maintain here, it will impact your. It is something which will integrate with the production planning team also. Clear? So these all fields belongs to as the interlink between your SD and production planning team. Now let's go to the next one. Yeah, see procurement type. This is also one of the important. Let us see this MRP2 view. Let's go to MRP2. Now see, I told you third party process, right? When you don't have a stock and you want to procure it from some other vendor and then you are going to deliver it. Let's say from the beginning itself you are clear that I will not check the stock, I will not produce it, I will simply get it from someone and simply deliver it to the customer. When the customer comes for order, I will get it from vendor and deliver it. Then you can maintain the procurement type as the external procurement. Means you are not going to produce this material. It's always you are buying from someone. External procurement. You are procuring it from some external sources. Okay. There could be cases where you are only producing, you are not procuring it. You maintain E. But as I say, as Yona said, on in the real world, what happens in third party mostly, it's both. You also produce it when the customer comes. When you have the stock, you sell it. You don't have, then you buy it from someone. So you are doing in-house production also, and you are doing external procurement also. So then you maintain X. Means this material is eligible for both. I am also producing in my plant, and if it is not there, I will get it from some vendor also. So in that case, you maintain X. Clear? Delivery time. You can ignore actually. This is something you can just read it, you can understand. Safety stock means, let's say, as I told you, it's MTS scenario, right? You just produce it and you keep it in your plant, and when the customer comes, you sell it. Then it's not something that you will create some 1,000 ton of material, right? Somewhere you will stop. Okay, this is enough for this material. Let's wait for some time. Now the customer comes and he keeps on buying. The stocks is reducing. But what time you will again start the production? Some safety stock you maintain. Let's say 1,000 ton or let's say 50, 100 ton, and you have some. Let's say it's 100 ton. You maintain the safety stock as 100, and you have 1,000 stock available. 1,000 ton of stock available. So the customer is coming and he's buying. And whenever the stock falls below 100 ton, the production team will automatically understand, okay, now they have to start producing this material because the stock has gone to the safety limit. Similarly, like we have the reserve in our bike, right? When reserve means you now understand, okay, you have to refill it. So that is something safety of the Material Master also, that you can use it. If you have the requirement, you can use it. Then, yeah, see the strategy group, as I told you, make to order, make to stock, these two things. Okay. So this field controls whether the material is relevant for strategy group or not. These all things are interconnected actually. Strategy group, what you see this MRP, this thing, right? MRP group, all these things are interconnected. You will understand all this when you will discuss this availability check. Okay. But as of now, you have to understand what this field does on a high level. So MRP is a strategy group. Let's go to a strategy group actually. So you see, here it is a strategy group. Press F4, make to order, sorry, make to order is there, make to stock, you have multiple options, but you remember these two at least, make to order and make to stock and make to order, at least these two you remember. And if someone asks you, you can explain this, what is MTS and what is MTU. Now, you see requirement type. I told you, right? Requirement type in sales order. Here we have this requirement type in our sales order. Yeah, this requirement type. You see, there are three parameters. Strategy group means this field, then your MRP group that we have seen already, and MRP type. So based on these three parameters plus item category, system will determine the requirement type. Yeah. If you see this MRP type and item category, MRP type and item category, just now we saw it. What it will determine? Item category plus MRP type, what it determines? Just now we saw it here. This one. MRP type and item category. Schedule line, exactly. So this
schedule.
is why it is written like this, MRP type plus item category. You can write I mean, you can put it a bracket like this, and you can write it like this also. Undo line category. Okay, understood? Now, the total replacement lead time. This is also one of the important parameter actually. It is the time taken to manufacture the goods and finally takes the goods into the storage location. When you pass the information to your production team that I want some 100 pieces in so and so date, they will start producing, they will start planning and all right. But they will also need some time. Obviously, this material, which depending on the material, depending on the complexity of the process and all those things, it will they will also need some time. So that time we call it replenishment lead time. It's the time taken by the production team to produce that good and to place the good in the storage location before selling. So that time we call it replenishment lead time. Uh, and obviously, when this will come into picture, if you have the stock ready, do you bother how much is the replacement lead time if the stock is already available? You don't bother because if the stock is already, why you will bother about how much time the process will take? But when the customer comes and you don't have the stock, that time you will bother. That time you will ask, oh, how many days you want to produce this good, right? Then only you will bother, no? So you see, system consider the replacement lead time if stock is not available. If it is there, no need to worry. Stock is there, you just pick it, you sell it. That's it. Okay. Well, and all this system will when system will do this, when system perform this delivery scheduling. Clear? And what is delivery scheduling? Simple. Delivery scheduling. How you are going to deliver at what date, what quantity. Simple. Process of determining delivery dates into sales document. Clear? Uh, the storage location something in the master data that is what do you call? No, sorry, not storage location, storage condition. Now, let me go to uh, order. Let me go to delivery first. That's not there. See, when you create a sales order, just placing the sales order, that time, even if I don't know what is my storage location from where I'm going to pick, that is fine. I can continue because still I have time to create delivery and all those things. But when delivery is created and PG has to happen, I mean the post code issue has to happen, that time you need the storage location, right? From where you are going to pick that material. So this is why the storage location is mandatory in delivery wise before PGI. The same storage location you can maintain in your sales order also, but it's not mandatory. So this is a sorry because we forgot to discuss this table, but that's fine. Tomorrow we'll discuss. See, this is a sales order. If you double click here and if you go to shipping, this is storage location. You can maintain this field here, but it's not mandatory. And also, just remember this thing: the storage location will not come automatically or via any determination. It will not come in sales order. The storage location determination will work only at delivery level. Clear? And the storage condition is one of the parameter to determine the storage location in the delivery. See, it itself determine storage location into delivery document. Now, if someone asks you, okay, in sales order you said the delivery, I mean the storage location cannot be determined automatically, but I have some requirement that in my sales order itself, my storage location has to be determined. Two ways: either you enter it manually, that will work. But now let's say customer says, no, no, I don't want to enter it manually. You just do something. So obviously, in SAP that you can achieve via enhancement, you will go to the developer. You will ask the logic how they want the storage location to come based on some parameter only. They will give some logic, right? It's not of the something okay. They will put some random value. They will have some logic. If this is happening like this, you maintain this storage location. So similar logic you will pass to the developer. They will write the code, and then the storage location will be determined in your sales order. But by default, via standard configuration, it is not possible to determine storage location in the sales order. It will be only determined in the delivery document. And storage condition, it's a general plant data storage one. Let's go to Material Master first. This one. See storage condition 01. And what is the T code it says? OVL3. Let's go to OVL3 first. OVL3. You see, shipping point, plant, and the third parameter is storage condition only. So this is one of the parameters to determine your storage location. Yeah. And let's stop here only. This continue something. It will take some time to display to explain. So let's stop here only. We'll yeah
Deepak, uh, I got
yeah.
an
Tell me what is
error
the
while
error?
creating the customer master.
Yeah. Really.
I'll just sharing my screen.
Resolve confusion you can ask at the beginning of the class itself. Okay, we can have time actually because now I have another class but from 10 no, so it's
Okay, my
difficult
mic
to.
is
Okay, show me.
but a
Okay, no problem.
system mic
Just
is not
go show
working.
me.
That's why
Yeah, I can see it.
here this is the I can see my screen right. If when I save this, I can I'm doing this.
No, no, wait.
So